What is up, YouTube? It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another anime and Asian oriented cinema month. And this is review number three of this is the sequel, the first sequel to the first Pokemon movie. And this is my favorite sequel of the bunch. It came out in the year 2000 in the US. And I think it's one of the most epic sequels I've seen in the theaters, especially because I saw this and the third one in the theater. So this is Pokemon the movie 2000. Awesome, awesome freaking sequel. One person can make all the difference. And yeah, definitely the director of this one. I don't know if it's the same director from the first one, but wow. What a change in tone. This is what I was talking about when you talk about epic sequels. I mean, you got the whole cast coming back from the first film, except for Brock only makes a cameo in this film. He's in like two scenes in like the middle of the film and at the end credits. But it's not that, this is the reason I really enjoyed this film. These legendary birds. You got Moltres, the bird of fire, Zapdos, the bird of lightning, Articuno, the bird of ice, and then you have Lugia, the legendary Pokemon, the psychic flying bird, which is awesome because he can talk. He has a very angelic voice, and just this movie's just badass for an anime for kids. It came out when I was 15 years old. I'm like, wow, this even the trailer for this movie, I was pumped. And then when I saw it in the theater, I was like, wow, I really think this is one of my favorite animated movies. That's not Disney, Pixar, or DreamWorks or anything made in by Westerners. I really enjoy this film. It's one of the best anime films I've ever seen. The mini movie is cute. It's more cuter than the first one. It has it's Pikachu's rescue adventure where Togepi is they have to save it from a bunch of other like grass Pokemon and such, and there's a storm and everything. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but it's cute. They show Elekid for the first time, and you see Marill again, and you see a bunch of the Pokemon. It's pretty cute, and it's a good appetizer for the main course, which is this. The score in this movie is amazing. There's a flute that goes. It's a beautiful score. I love the score in this movie. The Japanese know how to score music in a lot of their shows and their animes and their movies and their video games. Just fantastic. And the animation is really solid. It's top notch stuff. If you guys haven't seen this film, it's really well done. A hand drawn animation from Japan. It has a faster pace than the first movie. Like the first movie takes a while for just something to happen. Like what Mewtwo does is awesome, but then Ash doesn't even see Mewtwo until halfway through the film. But here, bam, first 5 minutes you see the legends of the birds and how Lugia came to be, and then this guy Lawrence the Third, he's a collector and he tries to collect all these birds so that Lugia can show up. And as soon as they capture the birds, the movie just keeps going. It doesn't stop. It has some spots where it's basically people talking, but the legend ceremony and everything it flows very well. I really like the story of this. Ash having to be the chosen one because he is. That's why he's in the entire anime series. And well, except for like Chronicles because that had nothing to do with Ash, but in all the movies and all the TV series shows, Ash is the front and center, and I love this character, Satoshi. In Japan, his name is Satoshi. But you know, the birds are awesome. When you see their attacks, it's majestic. They're fighting each other, and because they're not supposed to, they can't coexist with each other in the world, and that the world is coming to an end. The stakes are much higher in this movie. You finally get to see more of Ash and Missy developed as a couple. Basically they're saying, "Oh, are you his little sister?" It's like, no, no, then you must be his girlfriend. It's funny. This movie cracks me up, and they show other Pokemon from Johto. They show Slowking, and of course Lugia. Like I said before, Elekid, and I think there's something else. And it's amazing. I mean, I was very very entertained with this movie. I would advise it. Yeah, if you have kids, show them this movie. If you haven't seen the first movie, definitely you can skip to this one, and you won't be missing out because this is a totally different story. It's longer. It has a faster pace. It has a lot of action scenes with the birds attacking, and Ash and Misty, they bond, and you can tell that the characters are being developed here. Yeah, Tracy's there instead of Brock, but he was serviceable. He's not like a fruitcake like Silent was in the later series on in Black and I think it was Black and White. Oh my God, I hated that character, but this is an awesome movie. I really enjoyed this film. I wish I could say more. It's just I don't want to spoil too much about what happens, especially there's a lot of spoilers in this movie. And if you, I know this movie's from 16 years ago, but I don't want to spoil the action scenes. You got to see it for yourself. Team Rocket's in this. They're a lot of fun to watch. Um, it's just a great anime movie, and I just think for kids, they got spoiled because this movie was ahead of its time, and it definitely delivered, and it was a fun, entertaining movie in the theater. And watching it at home, I just love watching this. It's just a lot of great memories, well done animation, good story, great characters, fun action scenes, a different atmosphere from the first one. It's not as dark as the first movie, and it proves that one character right there, Ash, can be the chosen one to save the world, and he does, and it's awesome. And there's also a nice dynamic between him and his mother, which I have with my mom, so I could relate to that. And it's an awesome movie. I really would recommend this. It's a great anime for kids and even for adults like me. Anyway, that's my small review on Pokemon the movie 2000, one of my favorite sequels to an animated film that's not, like I said, Disney or Pixar or DreamWorks or Illumination Studios or anything like that. Just pure entertainment. Just knocked it out of the park. Again, there's a reason they made more sequels after this because this one struck a chord with a lot of kids, and I still love it. It's my favorite Pokemon movie that they've made. Unless they do a live action movie that's much better, it's still my favorite to this day, even after 16 years. And I get a kick out of it. It really, this was the same year that Gold and Silver came out on the Game Boy, and I love that game. It was my favorite game, and then I got my favorite movie in the same year. 2000 rocked, man, when it came to movies and video games. Anyway, that's my review of that. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you can understand me because I have gum in my mouth. But anyway, my next review will be of the third movie, which is pretty decent. It's a step down from the second one, but it's not terrible. And I will talk about that one later. And by the way, I'm not reviewing all the movies because there's like 18 movies in the series, and there's another one coming out for the Sun and Moon version, which I'm definitely keeping my eyes open for because a new version after 3 years since X and Y. Wow. The fever hasn't died. People said, "Oh, the franchise was over," like when they did Black and White. No, it continues and it's 20 years strong, and I can't wait to see more. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.